And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever you are and whoever you are around the world, and welcome to the Monster Energy DreamHack Studios. My name is Sims, this beautiful man is Avenger, and we are here for day number 2 of the North American Closed Qualifiers. What are we here to do today? Well, I'll tell you, we are here to find 3 teams and book their tickets to DreamHack Austin, shove them in with 16 other teams, and fight it out for $100,000. Martin, yesterday we had some teams performing absolutely lights out.
Over the top, I'd say. Envious taking 2 wins and 2 second places.
It's strong, and I think this is kind of what we said. We're having a bit of a convo. Obviously, we talk outside of these events and personally and just generally about the scene and everything else. We have some big convos, some interesting ones, to say the least. And we're talking, obviously, you have that little bit of divide between Europe, North America, and we're speaking about, these changes come from Optic. They're one of the favourites kind of going into this if you do keep up with the scene and such. But now all of a sudden, Envious. The boys in blue, they're doing the job, Martin.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I didn't expect this for them, to be honest. Also, with a sudden roster change back to their old lineup from the old high ground days, really didn't expect that from them at all.
Well, let's remind everybody out there how the standings currently sit and show you and bring you up to speed how we ended things yesterday evening. Top of the charts, Envious, 1,947 points, just 53 short of breaking 2K on day number 1. I believe that was more than what Liquid was standing at.
It was, yeah, 100%. Also, I mean, we didn't see another thing to talk about as well. Team Dignitas, they only have 1 chicken dinner, but they still have a lot of kills and such a high consistency, so they're still above Hooligans, which took 2 chicken dinners.
420 Blizzard on the kill points for Dig. Hooligans, you say, moving down to 3rd place, 1155. They are staying alive above that green bar. Now, that green bar, what does it do? Well, I'll tell you. By the end of today, we'll have completed another 5 matches, and the best of 10 will be all said and done. If you are sitting above that green line when we're all done, then you, my friends, are going to DreamHack Austin. You do not have to go for any more qualifiers. You do not have to play in the BYOC. That's it. Job done. Totality, Tempo, E-United, Optic Gaming, Noble, Black Label, Pure Esports. All of these teams, all the way down to number 10, they're in the 600-point bracket. They're all hovering around. There's still targets on these teams' backs because nothing is done yet. Meanwhile, Rusky, Wildcow, Ghost Gaming, Trifecta, Cloud9, and Viper. Some big bad boy names down there, Martin, that have a lot of work if they want to turn it around today.
I mean, well, we've been seen it before anyway. When Ghost, they were 16th at GLL after first day, after 8 matches, and then coming back second day, 8 more matches, and then taking 3rd home. That's a really big turnaround, but I mean, this is a team that can do that. So if they've watched through their VODs, if they just improved from yesterday, I think they're able to come to top 3 again today.
I think the more surprising thing when we looked at Ghost Gaming at GLL was like, well, they're coming off of a very, very big win. I mean, it was a huge win at PGL. Was it 50K they took home?
Yeah. No, 100K. 50K. There was a 100K tournament and they took 50K home, yeah.
But that was a team that had kind of recently just formed. So I think a lot of people, when they were going into GLL, I think this is fair to say, is that maybe saying, okay, is it a little bit of beginner's luck? Did they not really, they kind of shock? Because there is a such thing as a shock tactics. You put a new team together, and this is kind of thing when we look towards the BYOC at a later date, you might not be able to predict what's going to happen with certain rosters.
And I mean, we're going to see it at the Bayek event as well. There's going to be upsets. There's going to be people doing weird tactics, but they're going to work because it's this shock kind of tactic.
So, as we say, Ghost Gaming, they've done it before. And we know absolutely this team can do it again. We'll see if they can turn things around and claw their way back into the top 3. If they do, those boys will be booking their tickets to DreamHack Austin and playing for $100,000. Now, we did find out in the back, Cloud9, Martin, had a little bit of a player change.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to change up a bit, have a substitute coming. I'm not sure what's happening, but we'll see. I'm excited to see what these guys can bring. I'm not sure if we want to spoil it yet.
No, we'll let it go on. And obviously, we can only speculate. We don't know why the changes there. We can talk about it as you would expect any set of broadcasters to do. We can guess why a team changed. One player may just be ill. It may just be literally as simple as that. We're reading too much into it. Either way, Cloud9 do have a different player in effect today, so we'll see if that kind of either helps them out or, unfortunately, may put them further behind. Who knows? But still, I have faith in this Cloud9 roster. I've said it before and I've said it again. The players that are on that team, they absolutely, it's kind of like the NIP experience. There is so much potential. There is so much individual talent. And amongst, as a single player, they can do it. but things just didn't seem to go their way yesterday.
No, they had a really rough time. Also, they had a rough time at GLL as well. They fragged out their fraggers individually, but their macro play doesn't really come through and doesn't shine through the roster at the moment.
Do you think Optic are still kind of maybe getting used to the recent team change? Because again, that's a very recent one. That's kind of like the old, that's like the Ghost scenario.
It is indeed. I mean, it's a huge change changing your in-game leader. I mean, changing a fragger is something, but changing an in-game leader is huge. So, of course, that's something you have to get used to. And also, they didn't have a lot of time to get used to that.
Who do you think is going to pick up the IGL slack on that one? If you were to guess.
I think Pubg will be probably.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it when I found out he was actually English. It seemed so weird, an Englishman with 3 Americans out there. It was like, oh, okay. So the Englishman could be leading the charge. I mean, he's full of banter as well, and again, he's bloody good at the game, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, he is.
But as you say,
he's a fragger as well.
He is, but losing someone like 17 who can really step up and clutch it up when it matters most. I mean, Tanner's a banging player, and I think it's fair to say that if any team was looking for a player right now, Tanner's probably in the Europe/North American region the best FA, do you think to say?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, also an in-game leader is something that you have to change as well over some time. You have to get used to it, but still, he's such a good player and also have experience behind him, land experience. He's land proven, so to say. So, I mean, he's by far and also he's a free agent. Like, you don't have to go out and buy out. I'm not sure about his contract and stuff, but still, he's a free agent. He's been released off his contract, I believe. So, he's not, you don't have to pay $100,000 to get him. I don't know what the sums are around this year, but
who knows? Who knows? We leave all that to the legal team and such. But the one thing that we do have to touch on again, the servers are kicking up in the back. I've just been made aware, so you don't have to look at our ugly mugs so much longer. I'm having a better hair day today as well, so I feel better about myself.
Looks
Does it
good.
look okay? I went for the long back and sides.
Yeah.
It's not me.
I'm mostly jealous of your beautiful red beard.
Why does everyone focus on the beard?
Because it's so fulfilled. And
I'm really annoyed at it because I forgot my razor. This is the first time in years since I clean shaved, and good God, does it sting?
Yeah,
it really, really hurts. Anyway, less about my facial feature and expressions and hair and all that lot. 762 meta. We're still.
Yeah.
It's a big focus of yesterday, and I'm sorry if we banged on about it a little bit too much. But as you can understand, patch 12 coming in has been huge to the PUBG environment. Matchmaking, casual, competitive especially. It's completely thrown everything on its head. All the 5.56 guns are changed. We've had changing the size of grenades. We've had health changes when you look towards syringes, the crates, the swimming, the breath, some of the vehicles. We've got a new vehicle on Miramar. Everything's different. It's it's huge.
I kind of feel like you call it patch 12, but I kind of feel it's PUBG 1.5. Like it's so much of a change. You add so many features, changes to Miramar, so many features to gunplay. Kind of feel like it's PUBG 1.1 at least, but 1.5 compared to how many changes there's.
No, I agree with that. I mean, it was a massive patch. Right? It was 10 gigs,
10 gigs,
something ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was enormous, and again the effect that it's actually had on mainly the gunplay that we've seen from players and the kind of the guns that they're opting to go for now. The 5.56 still. Shout out to Wacky Jackie as well. Those videos that he's been putting out recently are absolutely banging. So if you want to look on YouTube and you want to look at some of the grips, for example, Wacky Jackie on YouTube, his experiments with grips are fantastic.
He's the PUBG scientist.
It really is. How much time
PUBG.
and effort must go into making those videos?
I saw one of his tweets, like he put 10 hours the first day into testing it just for recording a 10-minute video and then having enough for other videos, of course, still.
I mean,
as well. So, but
what you put in, you get out, and honestly, his videos
sure.
are incredible. So if you want to learn a little bit more and you want to know kind of how these grips work, potentially the best one. Again, I still think, I'll always say this, it's okay looking at what's the best gun, the best meta, the best feel, but I still say from an individual stance, what you feel best to play with. Don't just kind of get caught up in, this is the best one. Everyone's using this. All right, there will be a strong individual weapon. There will be a strong individual grip. There will be the optimal setup. But still, it comes down to personal and individual preference.
And also play style, because he hasn't put so many as many videos into comparing standing and crouching. There are some, but still, if you're a mobile player where you move a lot and you stand up a lot, and you don't crouch that much, there's other guns you have to use.
There's a lot of difference. But yeah, if you do want to check out some really good videos, Wacky Jackie's is fantastic, so make sure you can have a look. But yeah, again, the grips, the guns, 5.56 becoming a little bit more predominant in the tapping department. The 6.16 still quite strong when you tap it, but again, the kick, AUG definitely when you're looking at,
huge nerf.
It's definitely huge, and I think that goes for all the ones. The M249 still potentially one of the, alongside the, go on.
Groza?
Oh, the Groza, yeah, it's probably still the 2 strongest guns
I
by
think
a
so,
long
yeah.
shot in the game, apart from when you move on to the big boy sniper rifles.
I think so, yeah.
All the sniper rifles have got a bit of an individual nerf because you've got 24 AWM, K98, SKS. They're all viable because of now you don't have all these level 3s bobbing and weaving. You're not playing duck hunt. You can smash these level 2 to pieces. But the bigger one is the DMRs. You got the damage, the multiplier boost now. And because of the level 2s stacked up against them, the DMRs are just tanks. They're running the ground. I think it's fair to say AKM at the moment, that we saw yesterday at least, and what we are seeing, AKM, up close and personal, holographic, bloody strong gun.
It is.
Move on with the DMR or sniper rifle with an 8 times, you're laughing. And as well, you've got the 6 times as well. So that's another scope thrown in onto the DMRs. Everything at the moment is just kind of saying AKM, DMR.
Yeah, or DP DMR as well.
DPs. We know how you feel about it, but the DP is a strong weapon, so to speak.
It's super strong.
And we kind of saw it yesterday when they were trying to blow vehicles to smithereens, really. It's had the damage buff, which I used to call it a bit of a tank buster anyway, with it being an LMG. We know the 249 is still that if you want to shred cars into oblivion, especially in competitive when you have players rotating around in 4 vehicles at a time, you can just rip them a new one. But it's, again, the DP now with that little bit of a buff, and it's still part of the 762, that just got its own little boost of confidence in the fact that it can pretty much destroy individuals, but destroy vehicles as well.
Yeah, and I think it's a valid tactic going after the vehicles instead now, because the 5.56 guns are not such laser guns anymore, so you can't really make sure that you hit the driver of the vehicles all the time. So going after the vehicles and blowing them up instead, I think it's a valid tactic, and changing instead. Because usually what you see those 5.56 guns in the previous patch, they just aim at the driver while they drive, and then just follow it. But it's just so hard. After those 5, 6, 7 bullets, the recoil is just too strong on those 5.5 guns.
We saw it yesterday where people usually were going to crash a compound or even at least skirt past a compound. I mean, how many times would we all, M4, SCAR, we see a vehicle on his hands and knees, leaning to the left, leaning to the right, and just trying to lead the shot and spraying away. Now it's like, Jesus, your gun just reaches for the sun every single time. So it's tap fire or at least maybe 2 or 3 bullets and away we go. Hey, guess what? You don't have to listen to us talking. Well, you do have to listen to talking, but you don't have to see his faces while doing so. Game number 1 is live. Ladies and gentlemen, this is round number 6, the best of 10, and we are continuing from yesterday. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you have some fun. We're certainly going to have some fun. This is the North American Close Qualifier number 1, sponsored by Corsair and Monster Energy, and this is the DreamHack Pubg Showdown. All these teams trying to battle for 3 places for $100,000 at DreamHack Austin. Martin, give me a run through of this flight plan.
I mean, this plane is good. I mean, we have everything available, kind of except Primos, kind of except the Kameshka, but everything else is just available. And I don't think we're going to see a lot of changes, but I hope we're going to see some changes because there are some of those prime positions available. And one of them is, of course, Pochinki is taking it. That's going to stay to those hands. The Gatka West Coast is going to be staying at the Tempo Storm hands. But I wonder if Optic, are they going to be able to keep Rushock and Atlantis and all these areas here? But I think we have a little change here. Trifecta looks like at least that they're going after the mansion, the Pubg area.
So we spoke about changes. Let's focus in on one now. C9. Look at that name. 17. So a couple of weeks ago, we saw 17 playing for Optic Gaming. They're actually in here, so we're going up against his old roster that he was only recently removed from. Now, the bigger question is this just Solid unfortunately being ill? And if so, best wishes to you, Solid. Really good friend of mine. Well, say a good friend of mine. I've met him a few times. He's a really, really nice bloke. So if he is feeling unwell, get better, or whatever the reason you're not here today, I hope you're well, buddy. But 17 on this roster, Martin, what can it do for C9?
I mean, it's going to completely change the kind of style that Cloud9 is going to be playing here. Also because I hope what they're going to do as well, they're going to lay all their faith into 17's hands here, because 17 is used to playing North George. He's used to playing this kind of style, and if he's just able to lead the charge on this, I think we're going to see great things from them, because Froliger, Mood, and Elusive, they're great fraggers. If they just put in all faith and just trust, 100% trust in him, I think they're able to do great things. So,
first circle is live. And look at her, she's more towards that northeast area, pretty much kind of hovering around the Stalbert to Yasnaya area. So totality, they're going to be sitting pretty almost dead center. Couple of warning shots from the E-United boys, passing off a trifecta. They'll be looting around that mansion area just down below them. And then more to the right-hand side, we will see trifecta. They'll take Lippo, so a potential crash for them. Ghost Gaming, they are close to the circle this time around than what they've been in the previous days. Mainly the days we've had more towards the center northern area, more towards that west coast. So they're very close to the circle. Again, they can do their usual stance if they really want to and come in late, but in doing so, there's already teams mounting that are actually looting on the outskirts of that circle. They could stay there for a long time because they don't have to rotate.
They can, I mean, but still a trifecta here staying there. It doesn't look like anyone is going for the mansion though, but still the Pubg is kind of small, and with this circle, they should move early. With the kind of plane path you saw, it's not a Stalber Kameski plane, so you kind of want to go up there in the northeastern and secure some of those prime positions early. I hope they're going to do that. Also, I think Trifecta is one of the guys here that they have been looking at the VODs, and they have been saying, okay, so E-United, they had the shelter, they had the prison, they had the mansion, and they had Lipovka all to themselves. So what Trifecta have done here, effectively looking at the VODs, hopefully it's going to just take Lipovka out of their hands, because it's not worth fighting for, because now they can just still loot shelter, loot prison, loot all the big compounds around. It's still really good compounds, and it's fully viable for them.
Usual suspects, which we didn't see. We saw a few times yesterday, but not as much as what we used to be fair. On that west coast, we will see Tempo. NV just above them again. Same place as usual. South George, North George for C9. Team 11 down at the bottom, Viper Esports. They're going to start the early walk, but I don't think, did they go Prim or did they go Ferry? I think they stayed around Ferry side. Below them, we've also got to their side a couple more teams. 10 Black Label, just chilling. They're going to walk around the farmlands area. Potential to maybe get caught up against Hooligans. Hooligans had, let's just focus on them for a second, Matt. And yesterday, 2 chicken dinners, they played phenomenal towards the end of the day.
They did, and it's a new squad. I mean, Spike coming in, I haven't seen him play that much with him. Of course, he's streaming a lot, but Fuzzy Potato, Foshu, and Shrimpsy here, it's a new squad. It's a new kind of mix. And I'm not sure who's leading the charge in-game wise, but they've been doing amazingly. Of course, yesterday the game they won, the last one, where Venerated did the 1 versus 4 against E-United, they kind of was like gifted the ending at least, because they had that compound since the 2nd circle until the 7th circle, so they could stay there in for so long. But still, obviously, it's not just being able to stay inside the circle, but also kind of capitalizing on having the circle and being able to get those kills. So they successfully did that, and they got those 2 chicken dinners. Before they got those, it didn't look that good. They had some kind of bad games, but still here looting the west kind of farm area, splitting out of those the trash lands around farm. Good compounds, good enough, especially if you get those kind of southern circles. You can immediately contest the eastern circle, the eastern bridge.
So Balog's going early this time. Yesterday we saw, I believe it was Profi who was the kind of the scout. Balog opting this time to go off on his Todd. He's got a UAS, try and find some prime position for this team, because he knows that kind of, and again, this is the whole thing where we speak towards, people mention, obviously, you don't really know where the circle's going to go, but these teams have to predict, not only, you know, they have their own routes, they have their own ideas where they like to go, but they have to predict where other teams will go. So this is where they do their research, they watch their replays, they see where the scrims, see where other teams have gone, where they've landed against one another. And that's exactly what they're going to be doing. They're going to be predicting where these other teams are. You can see the huge swings going to come through. Now, I'm interested to see if either Noble or maybe Trifecta kind of did what they did yesterday. They were playing off that top-end Stalber area. Now, if I was Trifecta, if I was Noble, I'd kind of say, well, I don't predict anyone else has gone here, because we were looting there yesterday and no one else around there. In fact, it was only actually Noble that looted there. Could be wrong. Maybe it was Trifecta as well. But either way, I would expect these guys to kind of go up on that east coast area, maybe go to the top, chill around that area, wait for other teams to potentially come towards them. The bottom section, though, was more maybe where we could have some of these problems. Southwesterly, I'm more so looking as we come outside of Pachinki and head towards just up past school, past Rozhok. You're going to have Optic. You're going to have, I believe, that's going to be Wildcard Gaming. You're going to have to crash through these teams, whether you take the long rotation. Even more so, Martin, the West Coast is getting pretty busy, because you've got Dignitas who are going to be keeping a hold of Severny and surrounding areas. Interesting to see where Envious go. Probably the same house as yesterday.
Oh! Turtle and Balak popping off. They're just straight up taking 2 guys from Black Label out. They're taking some fire from the south, though. Looks like it's the Heaven here. Hooligans have taken the Heaven area. southeast of Yasnaya, but that is 2 knocks. That is donut hole out, and
Stolen.
Totality Smithy here. He's gonna steal that. That is unfortunate. 12 points going for Totality here.
Sneaky from the top of the police station. Gets the call. Easy peasy. 17 has to ditch, unfortunately. Gets the welcome wagon look from Dignitas. They can, if they really wanted to, especially like Wookie Bookie, a man of his individual caliber, could quite easily keep this kill. He can keep it now. You do have a slight bit of a defilade as you come off and come out of the water, but 17 can't really do much now. Balok loses his face. That's the SLR finding it. Oh dear, outside in the open, Fuzzy Potato finds one. That's going to be the teams coming in from behind as they force off the rotation. Here you are with the SLR, the recently added gun, 3 times on top of its well. I mean, it's a monster of a weapon, Martin.
It's a beast. 58 damage. It's 5 more damage than the SKS. There's a more recoil to it. It's also rarer, but still it's a really, really good gun. It's basically the best gun in the game right now, I'd say, out of the crates, of course, except all the guns in the crates here. We're going to have a lot of movement already here. Check Shooters is going to knock Jesse. And look at this crate as well. Yes, Naya.
Nice. Smack bangs, a fair few players in there. It's a little bit out in the open. It's just on the outskirts of Yasnaya. I mean, you can play off the defilade if you want to try and avoid the apartment blocks that are going to be in front of you and the 6 stacks or the jigsaws that some people like to call them. But if anyone's behind you, that's a very open field and you will get murdered. However, well worth going. Silencer, Groza, 3-3-3. Happy days if you can get your hands on it.
Yeah, it looks like Totality is going to get that. Also having the silencer, the only attachment that can go on the Groza in there as well. Raw here from Pure. It's going to take some shots.
McCoy running the gauntlet. And again, these DMRs are just kind of proving vital within the patch that we're playing at the moment. It looks like potentially Dignitas didn't waste any time trying to take out 17. Didn't catch it in the kill feed, so if he is dead, my apologies. We'll see as we go through for C9. If we do see him on the board, I still think he's there, but it felt like they weren't bothering to kind of commit to it and waste time. Smithy with the first kill, now also bagged himself the Groza from the crate as well, so rocking that treble level 3. The silencer, the only attachment for the muzzle of the Groza as well. Well, that's 5% deviation it'll add to that, I believe. Yeah. So fully kitted out, getting extended on there, and you are absolutely laughing because for a 7.62 gun, it's a laser beam.
It is. The rate of fire in that gun is absolutely amazing. The only gun that doesn't do, or the only gun that does more damage per second than it is an MK14 on auto.
But and that really is, if you are using that, I mean, I'm impressed. It means you're kind of someone's in the same room as you.
With the new DMR changes, extended max from ARs being able to go in that is just insane. Like, not taking the MK14 from a crate would just be plain stupid. It's just so goddamn strong.
But in the previous one, and I like this, there'd be some teams, including myself, that would have left the MK14 and gone for something like a Kar 98 also. I mean, fair enough, I know it's lesser damage than a Kar 98, but still, now, with the DMRs and how things are working, it's a very, very strong gun. 16 teams still alive here on Erangel. 60 players alive. We've lost a couple already. Optic, they've opted to go up, try and get themselves an early higher compound, moving their way from around the Watertown stroke Rozhok area. Pure over here in the yellows, just, I'm going to say that's just below Yasnaya across the hay fields with the hay barrels. So they can chill for a little bit because they're almost going to be center square. Another drop comes in just outside of Yasnaya, so Pure will have complete and utter eyes on this. Ghost popping some shots off at them, giving them some sort of a warning sign. However, 100 rounds again. This man yesterday was finding faces.
Kar 98 on this guy and M24s. We saw it so often in the kill feed. 100 round here popping off with those sniper skills. And I mean, also, if you're a sniper player, it's going to be a much more viable role. If you asked me for like a half year ago, I wouldn't say as much that you're going to have roles. But now in this patch, it's much more viable having those snipers on your team.
That's what I like more about the level 3 helmets, because you couldn't really, everyone was using a green gun, simple as that. Everyone had green guns, everyone had ARs, everyone had 4 times. That was kind of like the meta, just pick up an M4, fully kit it out. And even in previous patches, before the 8 times taken away, everyone was just rocking the M16 with an 8 times single fire. But as you mentioned, Martin, there's much more relevance now to be that sniper, to be that individual who will go. If you go grab a crate with a level 3, give your sniper the level 3 helmet. Give it to him. Let him poke. Let him peek. Let him try and grab a pick.
100%. So important, and that's something I remember from Balak. That he's one of the first I remember really preaching, even the previous patch here, preaching that if you have a level 3 helmet, give it to your goddamn sniper, because it's so important being able to have those peaks and have those fights. It's just gonna be able to take a lot more fights with that. It's basically it's 2 Kine 8 shots and 3 5.56 shots it can take before it's gonna be dropped from your helmet here. Optic. They're going to be pushing in here. It's me brainting out Bahawaka.
Viper versus Optic for this compound. Take the initial knock at least. Can force him back. Looking around the side, not going for the kill. That's fine. Don't bother overcommitting to it. Just leave for a bit of bait for now. You can see Karts just chilling in the corner. If they really want to, you can get up on top of these crates. You can you can vault all the way up to the top and crouch down.
Yeah.
Be that nuisance. Gets the angle. Does Brain.
It's
12
3v3
points.
now. Viper, they lost a guy early. Not sure if he died or he didn't connect, but at least it's a 3v3 now. This is a pretty good position as well. I mean, it's not a shareable position, but look at Del Hero.
Noble onto Boom, just to note as well. So, excuse me, Noble onto Boom. Boom onto Moody. C9, unfortunately, will get knocked by one player. And look at that. All of a sudden, EDAC comes through, sees Frolicker. 2 will fall there for C9 consecutively. Noble finding them just to the south of Stalber. We did say that kind of team that would hard push up that end. That's exactly what they've done. Noble have done a long rotation from all the way down in Novo. Vegas with the sniper, another person we saw yesterday, heavy in the kill feed, finds the headshot, 17. Now Optic have entered the race. That's Optic that potentially have disengaged from the current fight they were facing off of. They find themselves Noble, and here we go. Moody gets dropped down, 17's praying they don't see him. Literally managed to just get away with his life. EDAC doesn't see this one player. What? What? What?
That was weird.
How did they not see him? I'm confused. Can he finish it off? 17? No, he doesn't. That's rather unfortunate for him. And he will go down. C9, unfortunately, are the first team that are eliminated here. He did a lot of work. Quite a lot of players knocked. I think it was down to the 1 versus 1 to see who would go out first. But that big battle just below Stalber, 3 teams engaged. Unfortunately, one of them did fall.
Yeah, it looked kind of weird. I'm not sure what happened there. Also, Dignitas is going to make a move as well. They did knock one of the Trifecta guys, but they're going to make a move. They have seen the big compound on the eastern side is open, so they're going to go for that. Optic here, down to 3 guys as well. Losing Bahawaka. That fight earlier, Trifecta here, taking some shots at Dignitas. That's a 6x on the M16. Not the most viable combination, I'd say. It has such a the animation kick on this gun is so hard. It kicks so much.
I'm still kind of confused as to why 8 times were, removed from that thing a while back because they knew it was overpowered. But now all of a sudden the 6 times has come back, not just to that gun, but to all the ARs. That 6 absolutely needs to be, in my personal opinion, kind of limited to snipers and DMRs. But then again, that would even furthermore, make the DMRs even more kind of stronger. But
yeah,
hey, we're all open to his own personal ones.
The nerf on the ARs on top of that, also like if they were the same, I'd say the 6x would just be ridiculous just at that. But they have been nerfed a lot. It does have a big
kick on it.
Yeah, and it has a big kick on it. On Northern Circle, straight onto Noble. And we're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams that have to rotate into this circle. This is a hard shift.
So
look at Wycott.
Dignitas are going to be laughing here. They're going to be watching this compound because they know that everyone's going to be going for it. They've taken what I would say is the stronger of the 2 because it's so big. A lot of teams will be crashing into that. They're also going to hit the wall. The seawall will not defend him. The AKM with the 4 times come through, but so does a bullet. Gustav takes one to the chest himself. Tumai, he's behind the wall, so his teammates can at least get him out now. What's the play in a compound like this, Martin, for the size of it? And you can see Envious are also scouting. Because it's so big, they'll probably be looking towards this. It's prime territory. Do they want to... Hey, did 100 rounds just crash into Turtle, run him over, and kill him?
It looks like it.
It killed him. Okay, never mind.
But yeah, talking about that compound here on the minimap southeast, it's a compound that can accommodate more teams. But still, this is the 3rd circle, so I'm not sure you want to do that already because it's on the edge, so it's not that viable yet.
Could see them spread out, we could see them close in. Envious realised that pretty much every single prime location's taken, so they're up to do something else. They have to keep moving. Though high up, spots one team. The initial shots come through. He lands at ACOG on the sky. Look at the jump. It's still a good gun. Compensator on the front as well. Silenced AKM on the back. Up close and personal against that thing. It's going to be nasty. Level 2, level 2. 40% damage reduction base across both head and chest. Your boy Dre, headshot comes through. AKM Taylor from Pure. Totality, Terror gets back onto Shrimsy. Your boy Dre comes through the flush as well. 12 points there. Go in the hands. Gustav now with that mini again. Another knock, that's back onto Envious. And look at all this. All of a sudden, Jimmer with the grenade, the knock, the kill comes through. That's going to be McCoy. He's dead. 1, 2, 3. Ghost. They're out in 15th. E-United just wiped them from the face of the planet. Another team leaves Erangel. Gustav again, back again onto Envious. The same battle that we've seen going on the kill feed. One of rounds gets knocked over. He ran over, I think it was Profi in the previous one, so he got a taste of his own medicine there. He'll be knocked, as Rav does try to get away. Last player here for Pure, unfortunately.
Yeah, Raw here, he has he's one guy, he's down to a vehicle that has no gasoline and it's down to 40% HP. It's kind of smoking here. He's just going to try to run to the edge and survive this. Fuzzy, the hooligans, down to 2 players here. Totality is making a move on them. Tony's going to knock one. Push to it. Player left. Spike is further north. He's going to finish up Fuzzy here. Spike is going to make a run for it, trying to salvage these points, these placement points. So important here. Taro here from Totality there. He's going to connect one shot, but he's just going to run for it.
I never used to be able to find a sniper rifle ever for my DMR, but because obviously now you've got the AR attachments, everybody runs the mini and silenced.
Yeah,
it's amazing to see. I mean, I'm just going to bring that up. What's the difference on there between the level, the range at which you can actually hear them? I'm sure I wrote it down here. Something like 1,000 meters down to 700.
Yeah, it's a lot. Another gun here, an M249 with a suppressor and a fully level 3 again. Not sure this is going to be able to get picked up, but still strong crate coming out all the time. Gustav is going to finish venerated. Yesterday's MVP, if you ask me. Wildcard here still in this compound. The zone is slowly creeping in.
Yeah, 1,000 meters. Silencer, 1,000 meters away knocks it down to 700 meters away. The assault rifles, you can hear them 700 meters away. You'll knock them down to about 350, so you'll have half of it with a silencer. And then the submachine guns, you get a silencer on one of those, 400 down to 100 meter radius.
Yeah,
it's only reason, literally, it's just a...
That's why the Vector is so insane silenced.
It's so quick as well.
The rate of fire on that gun as well here. Trifector. This zone is insane for them. Optic, they're going to make a move already. And look at that amount of play area on the north here. If you can kind of cut this new circle into half, and the whole northern side is free for the playing here. Free for the taking.
Rab's laughing. It's going to be the only one that landing for Pure. Just needs to keep surviving. He's got room to play with. 2-mine sniper rifle. It's going to be the K9 and the 8x. Only a level 1 vest, so he'll be taking the full 70% of the hit if it does hit him in the chest. Angled grip on the M4, looks like a stock as well. So fully kitted out, flash hider on the end. Still the M4, don't get me wrong, with how many different kind of add-ons and attachments you can do to it. You get the fully kitted M4, it's still an absolutely monstrous gun. Definitely seen turmoil with in terms of how it used to be when we look at the damage nerf that it's had, plus the recoil changes. Circle updates, he's still laughing. They're all flying all the way up to the northern side. Nob Nob, team 14.
Oh, I love here. Connecting one shell onto Nob Nob on the 2-seater. Vegas is gonna knock 2 guys from Ruski's team.
Rusky, yeah. 2 of them fall. Your boy Dre gonna taste his own medicine from earlier. Gustav still with that mini. I mean, how many? We've seen 3 or 4 knocks from him now.
It's a lot, yeah. Adam here as well. He's gonna knock Mandrosky.
Can't be many left there for Rusky. Must be 1 player maybe.
Looks like it. They're gonna have a rough time at least.
Wildcard here trying to stay alive. I mean, to have 4 players alive to get to this point is still pretty impressive in itself, but this is such a nasty area to be in.
He even has the half grip on the gun. Look how much kick it has on the 6x. Wildcard here. They are on the push on to Temper Storm. Looks like all the guys from Temper Storm, they have been brought up. So they are alive and kicking, and they have this beach area here. I'm not sure what the plan is from Wildcard, because going into the water now isn't as viable as was before the patch 12. So these guys are taking some damage. They are running out of breath more than twice as quickly, from 35 to 15 seconds in water. It's 20 seconds cut off.
I think they're signing their own death warrant here. I mean, I think they're also kind of hoping that your boy DreamHack over here on Team 16 Tempo just keep taking enough damage and keep taking enough fire. I mean, look at the death alert they've got. They've got the cover to survive this one and to play this circle.
Yeah.
But it all comes down to what Wildcard do. They do a wild play? Do they surprise them?
Do they do? Does Wildcard do a wild play?
I mean,
that is the question.
They could get pushed, but Dig's causing both those
problems. Oh, they're actually
problems.
pushing up right now. They have the death alert on that little beach there. It's a little death alert there, so they can actually get up and push on it.
It'd be amazing if Kickstart just drew the attention away from the rest of Tempo, and both those players at the back, Pride and Sharpshot, just pushed in.
Oh, it looks like it's going to happen.
Oh,
it is.
He's actually going to get it. He's close. Now, the unfortunate thing for that is now he may have potentially given away the information. They still have the defilade. He's still going for it because he knows where they are. They're just falling short. Sharpshot has a little defilade of his own.
Fortunately, these boys, they didn't play baseball in high school, so they can't throw those nades far enough. Terror here, they are on the breach on Noble. Compound we saw before where Cloud9, they lost their lives. They have successfully breached it. Trifecta again with an insane circle. Good circle for everybody. Close for everybody, but there's a lot of the eastern area here. There's so much open space.
Insane care package for them as well. That's actually going to land potentially on the hill in the compound, so they might have enough. They might have enough defilade to actually go and grab that bad boy. Enough cover to actually pick it up. I mean, it's risky. Optic playing gatekeeper here. 1, 2, 3, 4 teams. Noble and Totality interrogate, wanting a piece of his old roster. Goes through, you hear the drill come down. That's going to be Boom. First one hits the deck. Godspeed, all tanked up as well. All he's got is a stim and a dream. Opts to go out the window.
Oh,
Dink.
Holy wow, Headshot.
Bye-bye.
That is Noble out on 13th. Here's Sandpa and the guys. Looks like that Kickstart did help his mates to survive this breach here. And these guys, they have smoked up everything. They're trying to get closer. Not sure they have nades anymore. Pride is taking down Dre. Sharpshot is going to push.
This is huge for them. They've got the scopes. They've got the time. Looks for another one. There's number 2. Number 1's already fallen. Shots are going back through. They've built the wall of smoke. They have the defense from the side of Dig. Dig can't see them. There's only one man standing. Pride's pushing out. He wants the kill. Unfortunately, Wookie Bookie again. This is the problem. Both of these teams have to look down the barrel of Dignitas. They know exactly where they are. Looking for these points before he falls out. Trying to at least bag 12 per kill. Will bag 2 now. Might even be able to get Pride up here if they can hide. This is the danger zone. You've got BenQ dipping here.
This is a ballsy move. Look at that. BenQ knows where they are, but he can't see him because he's in this little ditch here. Oh, Alov is going to finish off Sharpshot. That is...
Is that from up?
Yep.
Good God.
He's out. That is 12th for Wildcard. Headshot is going to finish off Ramsey. Jamili and Totality are fighting. Totality on the west side here openly. Optic also inside the zone. Dignitas now, they have to make an open run.
Yeah, that's the only problem for him. I'll be interested to see if they've actually got any vehicles. I mean, even if you have any vehicles, the only thing you can really do is crash the bottom of that hill in the compound and then play the hillside. But if you're going to do that, unfortunately, you've got E-United to worry about. E-United can watch both the compound side, they can watch where Dig's going to come from. They don't have anybody behind them because they're literally on the back of the blue, so they can chill. Provided they have the uphill advantage in the fact that nobody can see them, they're going to be in an absolutely banging position. But as you can see from here, from Dignitas now, they're between a rock and a hard place, quite literally.
Yeah, they have to make a move here with the new zone. They have to push, unless they get the zone or close to the zone, of course. But still, they have to make a move here next. Gustav is going to get knocked from the south side and going to get a finished. Next zone is going to go kind of middle again onto Trifecta. Also, Nop from Ruski's team is still alive. So he actually made it into that barn. Trifecta standing in a really good position aggressively, but that has effectively made Nop.
Look at the southern fight. Optic are about to hit E-United. They're about to see each other wide out in the open as they both try and advance into the circle.
Yeah.
Nop, as you said here, from Rusky, still chilling, still hiding away, just praying that he can get his team up in the rankings. Coming down on the Kosh now as well, Totality. Hypox steps up. Silent Scar, ACOG in hand, looking for Vegas. Knows exactly where he is.
Oh, the nade! Oh,
that's a belter.
It dropped right in front of him. That's insane.
That's a Kobe and a half. He cooks it and literally lands in front of him. You ain't going to be running away from that one, my friend. Delirio trying to pick up some of the pieces, maybe try and recuperate a couple of points out of this one before they do die. I suppose at this point as well, when you are in this scenario for yourself, you just think, well, can I kill anybody? Can I scrape any barrel of points before I actually do go down? Unfortunately for Delirio, it's going to be a no-go. Hetra, last man standing for OG, and he's got to move. He does have a vehicle, but unfortunately driving up to compounds in this scenario, people and players, they're just going to be absolutely everywhere. Might as well try and blow this vehicle up and potentially even lay down next to it, to be honest with you, and just hope that no one sees him.
Or maybe even crash the compound and just take over a small house there.
Hide in a toilet.
Hide in a toilet.
Do something.
That could be a salvage strategy as well. Delirio actually crawling towards Hetra right now. Optic hasn't been finished either because United had to move. Jimmer's going to knock Adam. Jimmer's going to knock Boogie as well or finish him off. Adam is going to get stolen by Trifecta.
This is the big problem for Dig, just given their position where they were. Every single team's just going to be picking them off player by player. Jamili wants 12 points, which he will get. Smithy's dead. He's gone and buried. Looking for the rest of his team. 3 players here, 4 kills between them.
He still has check down under the rocks here. He's not inside, but he can sneak in. Pubg is going to get knocked again. So Hetra actually managed to get him up. Still crawling here. I'm not sure how many is left from Optic. It looks like it's only Hetra. It is. United have made a move. They're in the south side. They have this small ridge area here to play from. 9 teams alive still. A lot of snakes. BenQ, Raw, Check, Hetra, Purdy from Totality. Effectively making it 5 snakes. And they're snaking next to each other, basically.
Yeah, it's one of those where you're just kind of praying for individuals to be picked off one by one and make your way up the leaderboards. Unfortunately, though, for Rav, he's been spotted. Done quite well to survive this one. He did the vehicle early on. You saw him rotating all the way up north just to try and stay alive. He's got a snack of his own next to him, so he needs to be very careful. Leans out with the minute. Tap, tap, tap. The drill comes through, but all of a sudden, Trifecta leaning on the backside. Filthy comes in with an easy shot, cleans him up, plants him in the head. He's gone. He's dead. Pure finish in 7. 6 teams remaining. Still plenty of players alive in this compound. It's shifted directly towards that care package. Hetra still on the outside. Actually, the only one with any hill advantage, to be honest with you. United locked into a corner, but again, they do have this Rockstraw kind of bottom area that they can play with if they want to. Don't have much room to play with, but it's still something.
It is something indeed. And 7 kills to their name. Still here, Trifecta, 2 guys. They have kind of tried to sweep the eastern area, but there's still one snake out there. Bank is still alive. Optic still have Hetra alive as well. And meanwhile, Nop from Roski's team is just chilling inside. He's very much chilling inside.
Actually locks himself behind the door. Hagrid in the little Hagrid house, looking outside the top of the circle. Window, see if we can get an angle, but Jimmer gets one from the side. Filthy does have his number read. Here's the 6 times. If you are wondering what these scopes are, for instance, if you are, because they are new ones that have come in the recent patch, you can see just below the gun, little new observer feature. It does tell you which kind of sight these players are actually using. 2 first aid, so he's laughing. He's got at least a bit of health and get himself back to 75% each time with the first aid. Soko has a nice position. Can see uphill. You can use the window, then use the box lean as well, just to only provide his head to the enemy, keep his body survived. BenQ will decide to snake in now. If I was Trifecta, I would not be expecting anybody behind this corner. He'll pause for a second and he'll pick himself 12. Knock and flush. There we go. So before you die, at least you're getting 12 points as well. They go out in 6th.
Oh, Hetra, discipline here. Trigger finger not popping. He's going to pop anyway. And he's going to pop Jimur. He's going to try to finish him as well. Yeah, getting those 12 points is so important also. Oh, the nade is close to him. He's going to lose his hearing for a short while here. Vegas, Broim, Guys still standing down there. He's, oh, headshot onto Guys.
Hetra?
Oh, he's not inside. He has to make a move forward. He's going to make a move and run.
Oh, no. It was a great effort. It was a fantastic effort to at least get 12 points straight from that and then do so much damage to E United and press up. It was a great chance. It was a great opportunity. It was really good play. Got his team up into 5th place, but they fall down. 3 teams remaining, 7 players alive. Nobody, absolutely nobody in the circle. E United, they don't know where other players are, but we do. The prime play for them now is that they could take the circle and gatekeep the other ones in the blue.
They still have a really, really good ridge they can gatekeep on top of as well. So they can kind of try to find a good position here. They have this whole ridge area, and they don't know where the other players are. And still, look at this high ground advantage as well. This high ground right here, oh, this is a great position from them.
It's disgusting.
And everybody else is forced to move. And it's 2 teams. It's the Viper Esports guys and Trifecta. So Viper Esports have 3 guys alive, and Trifecta has 1 guy, Soko, in this little grandma or Hagrid, depending on where you're from. If you're from UK, if it's Hagrid, of course, because you read a lot of Harry Potter books.
This should be their game. But again,
surely
you've got 1 player who can throw anything into the mix. He needs to wait for all of these players to come outside, and I think they now have the information. They know what's going on. Scout, red dot, compensator. You can change the colour on these scouts, on these red dots as well. Now here comes the push. Viper, it's time to move. 1 player's extended quite long, though. They've done some damage. Jamili steps up to the plate. Soko, though, knocks out 1. The flank comes through Jamili. That's 2. 2 members down here. Trifecta have played dividends. It's actually gone in the way.
It's a 1v1 right now. Soko taken down to 5% HP. Karthus, he is alive. He's going to nade him.
Oh, my God.
Oh, maybe the zone is going to take him out. Soko is going to die to the zone. It's a 1v1 right now. Guys versus Karthus. He's going to finish off 1. Maybe try to get up one of the other guys. Yeah, Karthus still alive. He's trying to get 1 up. Jamili's going for the info. Guys has 50% HP. He's not trying to get room up. Guys is going to finish off Jamili. Karthus full HP. Gonna take a tick there from the zone. He's going to make... Jamili's dead. Oh, that's a great nade. That's a great nade straight onto Guys. Cooked a little too long. It's too short. Karthus here. He's going to finish him.
It's a push and a half. E United, unfortunately, divided they fall. The 3-man team in the end. Oh my word. Jamili Cars, hey, it's me, Brain, missing 1 player from yesterday. They make it out.
They're missing Hey, it's me, Boo.
Oh, they are. Brain's missing his Boo. 11 kills as well in the bag, so I mean, a great game from them. The 1 person, I think, who was the last? It was Soko. So he got 1 kill. That 1 kill potentially actually cost the United the game, because that 1 pick kind of were like panic stations. Oh, Christ, you know, we've lost 1. We're now taking bullets. While that was happening, the other team, it was just like a rush from both teams, kind of coordinated at the same time. They just picked off individual players. So E United, and again, it kind of shows this is the whole thing about PUBG, which is amazing. Doesn't matter the position you have. They had the circle. They had the zone. They could have locked them back and just gatekeep them. They had the height advantage. They had the cover. They had everything. But they didn't win.
Trifecta as well. Trifecta had that compound the whole time. They were there since the 2nd zone, but they were down to just getting 3rd. And that's what we're talking about when we're talking about these really, really skilled teams. We're talking about, even though you get gifted the zone, you also have to have the capabilities of keeping in and then actually capitalizing on getting the zones and winning those. I think they kind of made a small... They tried to sweep the eastern area, and they kind of split them up, and they lost 1 player to that. And then the zone pushed them, and everybody else was on the eastern side. United was a great position. Staying at those rocks kind of formation and staying there is really great of them. I
do feel sorry for them, because they keep, like yesterday, they got completely flanked into a billion pieces by Venerated. He literally just took him to the cleaners. And unfortunately, not the same thing, but it's you know, the same part where they've got a good position. Actually, it's a completely different scenario. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm going to carry on that one. We're going to go to a very, very short commercial break. Game 1 is all said and done. Thank you very much for joining us. We've got 4 more left. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a second.